Hello everyone, Dolphin Oracle here again tonight. Well, it's been a while since I posted a video. We've been kind of busy with getting 18.1 out the door. This is basically just a roll-up release of all the bug fixes since December. I know it hasn't really been that long. We don't normally do that quick, but there were some important Debian updates, Debian system updates, and we felt that we should go ahead and update our install media out there. So we did that. So what's that mean for you? Well, if you're an MX18 user already, or 17 for that matter, you don't have to do anything. You're going to get all the updates through the regular update channel. Most of them are relatively minor. There are a couple. We've got some improvements for legacy scanners. There were some folders that certain scanner drivers look for that we're going to generate now. But one of the biggest improvement is, and we had some installer improvements because the installer on the 18 ISO has shipped. Turned out to have a bug that was a little intermittent and hard to track down, but it did cause the installer to crash in a way that a lot of new users thought the installer was finished, and it wasn't. It had crashed. So we've updated the installer, and it seems to be working a lot better. And also, we have, but the big one, and a big shout out to Felix and BitJam. Felix, of course, working with the MX and antiX teams, and BitJam, the guy behind the really the live USB system on antiX right now that MX also uses, for putting together some new grub EFI stuff that should help our DVDs. Let me back up. Should help our ISO files boot better on UEFI systems when people have either burned the ISO to a stick, a USB stick with something like DD or Etcher or something like that, or if they're actually burning a DVD. Some systems were a little more tolerant than others of booting with that, and he's made some substantial improvements. Is it perfect? We don't know. Probably not. Who knows? Nothing in the world's perfect, but it's going to be a lot better. So that's done on the 64-bit side. So if you got a 64-bit UEFI, you should see an improvement in how it's booting. If you're out there with one of these things, I suggest this has a 32-bit UEFI. This is a Lenovo. What is this? A Lenovo 100S11BY. It's a piece of junk, but it does have a 32-bit UEFI. And if you are stuck with a machine with a 32-bit UEFI in our ISO, and you've burned our ISO with DD or Etcher or something like that, and it doesn't work on your computer, and it might not, then boot that stick on another machine and use our built-in live USB maker tool to clone the running live system onto another stick in full featured mode. The full featured mode should not have any problem booting on a 32-bit UEFI, all things being equal in the world. 32-bit UEFIs are still, well, they're still tough to work with, and they got a lot of gotchas, but it will work better. It works fine on this. I run antiX on this. Actually, I don't run antiX on this, but I run a secret test antiX on this. I'll just let you know. So what's coming up in the future? We're already working on Buster stuff with Debian. We've got some back and forth going with some Debian guys, so that's good. MX and antiX both will be starting up Buster development in earnest here pretty soon. Some of us are already working on the periphery of things that we know are going to change. And antiX has got their roll-up release coming up here pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. They get the same updated installer. We've made a couple other tweaks here and there to some packages, so be on the lookout for antiX. And by the way, a couple other little news items. Number one, linuxquestions.org. It's kind of a fun little user poll they do every year for their distros of the year or their software app of the year, or they got like, I don't know, 1,000 categories or something. You can win a lot of different awards. antiX, for the first time ever, well, this was the first year for it, best live system. And I gotta agree, I'm not biased at all. No, totally impartial on the antiX live system. So anyway, go check that out. That was kind of cool. And one other thing, Linux Tracker. We've been hosting our torrent files over at Linux Tracker, the MX torrent files. We're getting some complaints from users, and I caught another video from Switch to Linux about some potential malware he's kind of seeing over there. And I'm going to take some of these guys who are smarter than me, and we've been talking with some of the other MX dev team members tonight, and we decided to move our official torrent files to another location. I'll put a link to our blog post about it down in my show notes. But you know, more power to them. I wish Linux Tracker all the best. We've used them for years, but honestly, the ads, the crypto miners, the pop-ups and pop-unders, it's gotten to be too much. Even on our direct links, we were starting to get complaints from people getting pop-ups. And tonight, my Firefox actually started actively blocking certain content from Linux Tracker. So, time for a change. So, the information in the blog post, I'll put that in the links down below, and go from there. At any rate, so I don't know. That's all I got for tonight. For tips, tricks, how-tos, head over to mxlinux.org or throw up a post at forum.mxlinux.org. This is Dolphin Oracle signing off. Have a great night.